Hello, I'm Neal with Ensystex. We manufacture the Isopthor termite interception and baiting system. And I'm here at the Truly Nolen Leadership Center in Tucson, Arizona to discuss one aspect of it, the above ground bait stations. Gabe, thanks for having us.
Absolutely, Dennis. It's always a pleasure. I'll tell you what, we're excited about introducing the product, learning about it, and getting it out there in the field.
I am too. Let's make it happen.
Absolutely.
So, in discussing the above ground bait station, specifically the heart of it is our above ground station receptacle, which comes to you ready to mount over active termite activity. The bait that you'll mix, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes, is installed once the station's mounted, then it's sealed and ready for inspection at a later date. Another above ground baiting method that can be utilized are our sizable bait retention sleeves. These sleeves can be cut to whatever size the job site mandates, filled with the mixed bait, and then placed in unconventional or hard to reach areas. Some places that come to mind are bath traps, boats on water that have tight areas, inaccessible with one of the plastic stations. So the second set of components that make up your kit are going to be made up of soap and water, nitrile gloves, dust mask, safety glasses, and in the event you might have to mix on site or in an unusual area, visqueen sheeting to keep the site clean. When wearing gloves, the primary driver is to avoid contaminating the bait, especially if the technician is a smoker or uses nicotine products, which can act as a deterrent. So helpful tools to keep in your kit include a square Robertson bit screwdriver for the station itself, mounting hardware of different types and styles, zip ties for the sizable bait sleeves, and scissors and duct tape. And you can never go wrong with having a fully charged cordless DeWalt drill. And finally, the components in your kit should include paddles for mixing the bait in a clean bucket with a lid and distilled water. It's important to use distilled rather than tap water, as the chlorine and fluoride found in municipal sources may deter termite feeding. The scoop for measuring, the bait itself, and a carrying kit. So specifically, let's talk about some of the applications that would direct you to an above ground bait station, such as aerial infestations, problematic accounts that conventional treatments haven't got you the results you needed, environmental impact or concerns, boats, and even sometimes customer preference. So let's get outside and get to mixing. So before we leave the office, Gabe has got the Labyrinth AC or the alpha cellulose bait out and ready to mix. He adds a little bit of the water into the bucket so that when he prepares and mixes the bait and puts it in the bucket, it doesn't create a cloud of dust. The general mixing rate is approximately 1 to 6 bait to water by weight, or roughly 1 to 1.5 bait to water by volume. And alpha cellulose has some really neat qualities. It's a very pure form of cellulose that's impregnated with diflubenzuron. Diflubenzuron is a great product, lethal to termites. Worker termites specifically are the only ones in a colony that molt. And this affects their molting process, so they die in such a way that they never relate their food source with their mortality. Now, once he's got this measured out to his satisfaction, he's going to add more water to it and begin to stir it. And I always tell people, for a good illustration, one of the goals in mixing that you want to reach, or the consistency of the bait that you want to achieve, is very similar to a dough-like consistency. Sort of like opening a can of biscuits in the morning and before you've cooked them and put them on the baking sheet. That's the consistency you want to achieve. It maintains moisture, has enough moisture in it to do some good, and it stays in the station once it's applied. So Gabe's mixed the distilled water and the alpha cellulose together, and as you can see, it's a dough-like consistency. He's got the excess water out of it and ready to install in the station. So we're ready to go to work. So we're here at a simulated site at the Truly Nolen Leadership Center, and they've got many different construction types built into this facility. And we're gonna use this one to illustrate an aerial infestation and the placement of an above ground station. The contractor's already removed damaged sheetrock, but what you can see is we have active termites here. At this point, you might consider cutting out some of the slats in the above ground bait stations to make the bait more accessible to the colony or to decrease termite disturbance during the installation. So this station is going to be placed over that tube. The bait will go into the cavity of the station, the lid will go on it, and the termites will begin transitioning that bait into their feeding habits. Okay, now Gabe's mounted the station. He's got the bait mixed to a dough-like consistency, and he's packing it as full as he can. This is a very heavy infestation, and we want to get as much bait going into the colony as possible. And also note, Gabe is very clean or concerned, and he has a piece of visqueen down there to catch any loose bait and wants to be sure and collect that once he's satisfied with the station being filled. So now Gabe has packed the station to his satisfaction. He's going to apply the lid and make note in his system to inspect this site 45 days from now or sooner. So now we've gotten to the record keeping part of this. Some customers use manual sheets to record their inspections and installations, but in Truly Nolen's case, they have a program that allows them to scan the information into their main system. Another place we've identified as part of this aerial infestation, we've mounted a station over activity, filled the cavity with bait. It'll be part of the inspection in 45 days. So now we're going to take sheetrock anchors and mount an above ground station horizontally on the ceiling. As I mentioned earlier, there's another creative way to get bait into hard to reach places by using this bait sleeve. These sleeves come in large rolls that can be cut to any specific job or space. So we're going to make up a filled bait satchel, and we're going to install it in an above ground bait station and a bath trap. In this scenario, we're opting for the prepared satchel rather than a rigid station due to the limited clearance. So we're in a bath trap. Another very hard to access place and not really a good one for a plastic station. We've created and filled a bait satchel that we're going to apply here. Gabe's now securing the bait into the application area. Gabe chose to use a screw to mount the bait satchel directly over the mud tube. Those staples can also be used depending on the substrate. So now you guys have seen what a great facility this is here in Tucson. all the different construction illustrations that we were able to use as great examples. There's plenty more out in the field that we didn't have the opportunity to cover today, but you'll find those out in time. Gabe, I want to thank you, man. This was fun.
Anytime, Dennis. You're always welcome here.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. As always, if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help. Dennis, thanks again for coming out and helping us out with this project. It's always a pleasure.
It was our pleasure, I tell you. We've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Yes, we have.
Take care, guys.